It's Mrs.Z. Today we are talking about grade 5 mission 6 lesson 26. We're going to do this word problem, and then also we're going to do concept exploration template 2 for this lesson. So let's start. The market sells watermelons for 39 cents or 0 and 39 hundredths of the dollar per pound. This is also important, per pound. And apples, so watermelon and apples for 0 and 43 hundredths or 43 cents per pound. Write expression. Expression is no, there is no equation. It's like how expression is used for any number of watermelons per pound. We can use expression to solve how much money we would need to spend for different amounts of watermelon or apples. Write expression that shows how much Carmen spends for a watermelon that weighs 11.5, 11 and a half pounds, and bag of apples that weighed 3 and 3.2 pounds, or 3 and 2/10 of a pound. Okay, so the thing is to create expression of. So we know that watermelon is cost 0 and 39 hundredths, so 39 hundredths of the dollar, or we can say that this is also 39 cents. That's another way to see it. Okay, another information, we know that this is W for watermelon, and then we also have that apples are 0 and 43 cents or $0.43. It's about it's same actually. Don't need about. It's the same as 43 cents, and that is A for apples. Okay. So what if I needed to find expression for any amount of a dollar? So if I take W to be the unknown value of how many pounds I would like to buy of watermelon, then I will need it to do expression like W times 0.39, and this will be expression for any number of pounds for the watermelon. And then also I could do expression for apples. I'll do A, like little A times apples times price. So 0.43 dollars. So this is expression for find any number of pounds for watermelon and any number of pounds for the apples. But right now in this we know that there was a weight of watermelon 11.5, so 11 and a half pound was big watermelon, times price 0 and 39. Okay, so that was price for how much she would pay for watermelon. Then plus she will pay bag of apples, and that weighs 3.2 pounds. So the weight of apples instead of A is 3.2 times 0.43. Okay. So this is expression how to find the values, that how much she needs to pay, P for a price of what she bought. And this is equation because it has an equation sign. But if you exclude equation, you got expression of how much did she's going to pay for 11.5 pounds of watermelon and 3.2 pounds of apples. All right, so that was the last, that was word problem, lesson 26 word problem. Okay, so we don't need to calculate when they say just write expression. So we want to do that. We could, if you want to continue, maybe we could see how much additionally. And so let's do that, just to review multiplication of the decimals. So thinking this is 11.5, we can think this is 115 tenths, because we will pretend that 5 tenths will change all this into 115 tenths. And then we're going to multiply this 0 and 39 hundredths. We're going to change it into just thinking of having 39 hundredths. Okay, so now we're going to use a standard algorithm to multiply. I like to use the line, so help me to keep on track numbers. So I'm going to do 9 times 5. 9 fives is 45. 9 times 5 is 45. 45. 5 stay. I will remember 4 tenths. Okay, now I'm going to do 9 times 1. And 9 times 1 is 9, plus 9 plus 4 makes 13. Again, 13, look, 13, so 3 stays, 1 goes up, and we need 100, all right? So now we need to do 9 times 1 is 9, so 9 plus 1 makes 10. I'm going to use this to make myself place value. So 9 times 1 is 9, plus 1 is 10. So now I find what is 9 times 115 is this number. Now I'm done with ones, and so I need to leave the placeholder for ones, and then I will do now 3 times 5, 3 times 1, and 3 times 1 again. 3 times 5 is 15. What I'm doing is really, this is 30. 30 times 5 is, so it's 3 times 5 is 15. I remember 1. 30 times 5 is 150. That's why we have, remember, 100. So 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. So we will write here 4. And then the last one is 3 times 1 is 3. We don't have any remainder, so carry on, sorry. So then we got, what is 30 times 150 is 3,450. Now we're going to add those together. This would be, okay, this would be if 5, 8, 4, 4. This would be if this is not tenths, or these are not hundreds. If they're whole numbers, the answer would be 4,485. But because I changed this 11 wholes and 5 tens into 150 tens and 0 and 39 hundredths into 39 hundredths, now I also need to multiply tens. However, I multiply 115 times 39, I have to multiply tens by hundreds. So when you multiply tens by hundreds, you got thousands. If that makes sense to you. So saying 10 times 100 is 1,000, tens times hundreds, they make thousands. So in our answer, we should show the answer. This is 4,485,000. So when we change this number into the wholes, we will say, okay, 1, 2, 3, thousands represent 3 place value after the decimal. So my real answer is going to be 4 and 485 thousandths. So that would be the, when you multiply 11.5 times 0.39, you're going to get answer 4 and 485 thousandths plus. Now, we're going to multiply this 3.2 times 0.43, which I will change the 32. This is tenths, so I'm going to change 33 and 2 tenths into 32 tenths. Times, I'm going to change 43 hundredths into 43 hundredths. So tenths, hundredths, okay, and then I will multiply it like they're whole numbers. So 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. And then I'm done with ones, so a placeholder. This is 40. 40 represents 40. Oops, so, and then I will go 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. So I'm going to add those. If I take my highlighter, which I like to do, okay, I will make this to be, all right, 6, not 8 and 9, 17. Remember 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. So if that is a whole numbers, 32 times 43, answer would be 1,376. But tens times hundreds will give us thousands. So our answer has to be change from this 1,376,000 into the whole numbers. Thousands represents 3 places after the decimal. So that means our answer is 1 and 376 pounds. So let's, with this answer, go back to the, we just find what 3.2 times 0.43 or 3 and 2 tenths times 0 wholes and 43 hundredths is 1 whole and 376 thousandths. That will equal the price. So now we need to add these two in order to get what the real price is. So now we're going to go and write these numbers. So I already have this here, so I can add it, or it's okay. I'm just going to rewrite again. 4 and 485 plus. Now, very important precision. So let's make the lines so you can add. When you add or subtract decimals, your decimal has to be in line. So 1 whole 376 thousandths. We can add the thousands, that's 11. We can make 100s. So plus 8 and 1 is 9, plus 7 is 16. Again, we made 1/10. So 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 3 is 8. And decimal point and 4. So right now we know this is 5 whole pounds and 861 thousandths of the pound. So we could really we could make a rounding. So if we round to the nearest tenth of the pound, we could say that is we have 8 tenth of a pound, and then 16 1 more. This is 600ths is more than a half of the tenth. So I can use this to create a new tenth. So if I round this 5 and 861 to the nearest tenth of a pound, I look how much more I have. I have more 61 thousandths. So then, or if I look just 6, that is 600ths. 6, I need a 10 hundredths to make 1/10. So I have a 6, I have more than half, so I can pretend that this is about 5.9. Sorry, that was actually price. So that's dollars, not pounds. I messed up totally. Sorry, I'm getting old. We were working about how much money she will spend to pay that front. So anyway, it works the same. If I think that this is $5, 8 times 6 pennies, and then if I have thousands, that there's thousands should represent money that is, if something is cheaper than a penny, then we will have coins that represents thousands of a dollar, but we don't. So there's nothing cheaper than a penny. So we don't really. So when we have the answer like this, and we need the round to the nearest tenth of a dollar or dime, we can say that she will pay about 5.9 5.90 cents. We can say 5.90 cents or 5.9 dollars. If we needed to, that's to the nearest tenth of a dollar. And if we needed to really round to the nearest dollar, $5.09 is about $6 that she has to pay. So that would be the. Sorry, I get distracted with all this calculations, but finally I found my mistake. So this was the answer that we didn't need to do it, but we still did. So it's the only. Hold on, make it smaller. The only on lesson 26 was asking us to do expression of this. So expression of how much money she would pay for this watermelon and this apples. Expression was this, but I added equation to find the price. P is price. So finally I found that price was price was 5.861 thousandths of a dollar, which we round to about 5.90 cents or about $6. So its price for these items would be about $6. That would be our estimate. At least she they need $6 to buy these two fruits. All right, that was it. I hope that you like it and it does make sense to you. And I apologize for a little mistake at the end, but we are learning from our mistakes, and I'm not ashamed of it. I am human being. All right, guys. Have a beautiful day. It was Mrs. Z. Bye-bye.